right, we're live. Here we are. All right, I haven't even poured my drink yet. Answer your questions in the chat to be heard. Welcome. Let's get that out of the way. Look, there they are.
Hi.
I couldn't find my booze for a moment. There it is. Misty Portugal is with us, as well as Lady Muffin Stuff.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. For those who may be unfamiliar, we are. I just realized I don't have any mix, so I'm drinking straight tonight.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! An interesting night.
Yeah, there we are. It's just Slanche, cheers to everyone. Say hello if you're popping into chat.
Cheers.
If you have any questions, you can enter them into chat, or we also have a method that is anonymous. Just go to slido.com. The event code for this is TLD208, because this is season 2, episode 8 of the Love
8.
Doctor live stream.
Woohoo!
Boom! Everybody's nice and happy. We got some chats coming in. Denny Leger is saying hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome, Denny Leger. Merci. Thank you for coming and joining our chat. We have some questions to get started. And again, we're in Montreal, where there's currently a lockdown, so there's not a lot happening. So
is there still a lockdown? Are we still not allowed to leave? Oh no, it's not a curfew, but it's a lockdown.
It's not a curfew, but the bars, cinemas, and lots of places are not allowed to be open.
Yeah, we can't brunch, and essentially that's my definition of lockdown.
Anytime
you can't brunch, it's not real life.
So after 3 p.m. at Shea Cora's, it's a lockdown. All right.
Or but then you can do lunch, early dinner.
Doesn't Shea Cora's close at 3? That's it, because they don't serve.
Yeah, most breakfast joints close at 3. They have. Hey, listen, I might not be up all late like you cool people, but I know my brunch.
Boom.
Yeah, it's really bad. Try to go to bed early.
Le Frier, those places generally tend to close around 3, and they have a little lunch menu for those who want fancy grilled cheese or something.
Which is great for the morning after. Please get your questions in. I see more people are joining us right now. You can ask your questions in the chat, or again on the Slido. I'm going to put the Slido along the bottom, but you can always ask questions about love, sex, and relationships, and we're going to be here to answer them for you.
And rock and roll.
And rock and roll. We're going to get rock and roll questions now. All right.
Awesome. My apologies, I didn't put my pronouns, but I'm she, her, just in case anyone was wondering.
There we are. Thank you. First question we have here. If you find you're always hosting a date but live alone, how do you sway things to the date's place even though it might be less convenient? All right. That's the question. Misty, you are in the hot seat, but we have Echo Shepherd has just tuned in saying that they are watching us. Good evening, Echo. Enjoy the show. Ask some questions about love, sex, and relationships, and we'll do our best to get them answered.
So that question, how do you sway it? I believe honesty is the best policy, and I would literally just say, hey, we've been at my house a lot, and I need a change. Can we go to your place? Literally, that's what I would do.
Boom. That's a pretty direct and straight answer, Lady Muffin Stuff.
Right. I mean, you can't get much more direct than that. If you want to do it without feeling like you're making a thing out of it, maybe suggest a plan that, has the event happening at their place. I don't know. Make a game out of it.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
Send a little voicemail message saying, you've been selected for this treasure hunt, and then it ends at their place and they get to win a prize.
That's super fun.
How's that?
That is a very brilliant and sexy suggestion. I do have 100%. To say, I liked how you refer to it as the event.
Yes.
The event. So yeah, I don't think I can add anything other than that, other than, Misty nailed it with ask them. and just try to agree to activities that happen at their place, because that is something that couples should do, is see each
Yeah.
other's place and space.
And it's like, I can get it. Like, I was dating someone over the summer, like this past summer, and we always went to his place. But it was because it was just, I don't know, easier. He had more stuff at his place, so it was more fun. But I was like, my cats are really lonely. We need to hang out at my house. So,
Yeah. Well, then
Boom.
there's the whole, like, they have roommates and
mm,
you have more of a intimate setting. That can be an issue as well.
that's true.
But, yeah.
But sometimes it's nice to kind of see how they keep their place,
Oh, yeah,
in case you're
100%.
thinking about eventually cohabitating.
You will learn a lot about a person by the state of their bathroom shower curtain.
Now I'm embarrassed by the bookshelf behind me. All right.
I'm embarrassed by my bathroom shower curtain. I've been needing to wash it for like at least a couple weeks now. It's pretty
I
gross.
don't wash them. I just get a new one, Dollarama.
Oh no, I was doing that, but they go so fast. I have a cotton one and I have to wash it and it's gross right now. Like,
Okay, yeah, definitely the cotton one needs to be washed.
Right.
yeah.
And it's
Oh,
more sustainable as well.
Oh, that's true.
that's true.
No shame or shade
No.
thrown. All right. Our next question, we are starting at the bottom.
Okay. I like the bottom.
Yeah, bottom's good.
Is it disrespectful if my partner watches our series without me?
Hmm.
I'm in the hot seat, so I get to answer that. It is a little, especially if they don't want to rewatch the episodes while you catch up.
Mm.
But the idea, it's something that you shared together, and it was a thing that you did together.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be, because a lot of couples will fight over the R series thing. And it's just a minor thing, but it can be really divisive.
Mm-hmm.
So I try not to. Yeah, it is a level of disrespect to the relationship, not necessarily to you. It also shows how good quality the program is, and also how little free time you might have had. So your partner is aching for time with you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Misty.
I didn't think of it that way, that they're aching for time with you. That's true. Disrespectful. I don't know. It's funny. I guess I never really thought of it as being disrespectful so much. That said, it really used to, like, with my ex, it really did, as things were breaking down, that was something that I really did enjoy, was, like, oh, we had things we did together. So watching specific shows, or I remember the big thing was we had the things that you have at Christmas. What's that? The Advent
Oh, the
calendar.
Advent, yeah.
Yeah, and I made him one, like, from scratch, and then he kept doing it while I wasn't home. And so, like, I wanted to share in that. So it's the same sort of thing, is that you want to share this with your partner. So I guess, I don't know, I guess I didn't think of it as disrespectful, but I guess it kind of is. And it's just kind of, if it's something that that it's been talked about, and for sure that this is something you want to share, and then that person can't wait, it just makes, like, it made me feel very not thought of and not valued. So I guess that would be disrespected. So yeah, I think yes, if it's something you're sharing, you should watch it together. And if you really, really can't, because there's something in, like, say your partner is gone away or something, then talk about it before you watch it. I've had to do that too. Just be like, I really need to watch it. Please, can I? I'll watch it with you. I won't say anything. That's fine too.
That's a mature answer to a suggestion there.
That's very mature, and I'm
I'm
gonna
old.
plead the fifth on that. But I would say, if not me, like asking for a friend, if someone were to, like, let's say, watch a few episodes of Dexter New Blood and not tell their friend that they promised that they were going to watch with them, I think that they should just rewatch those episodes and pretend that
Absolutely.
you're seeing them for the first time. And eventually you'll get caught up and you'll both be in the same state of mind. Just depends on how good of an actor you
was
feel
just
you
gonna
can
say that.
be, and be like, oh, Oh my God. Those kinds of things, if that were to happen. But yeah, that would be that would maybe not disrespectful, but maybe just not as thoughtful, or just have issues with impulse control,
Mm.
possibly. But that's what I heard from a friend.
You heard from a friend whose cousin happened to have.
You
To
don't
watch
know them, they
Dexter
go to
New
another
Blood.
school.
Lady Muffin Stuff, would you be able to angle your camera down a little bit? I didn't notice how low you were in the framing
Okay, hold on.
before. But I think that
Yay.
it's a
better?
thing that because we all grew up at a certain time, and we're being spammed. All right, going to be trying to take care of all those. But we grew up in a certain time where if a TV show came on and you weren't there to watch it, you missed it.
Or you used your VCR to record it. Somebody else did.
Yes.
Or
There
when you
was
could
actually a
time your
time before
VCR.
that too.
I know, I remember. It came on at 8 p.m. on Friday, and if you weren't home watching it, hello, the X-Files. Yeah, if you weren't there, didn't see it. Or Twin Peaks. Oh God. Oh my God. I used to rush. But yeah, you're right. And then you have to make plans with that person if you're going to watch it. And if you don't make plans with that person, then you have to watch it without them because like you'd miss it. And then you'd
It
have
was
to
a
wait
different
until
time.
right? You'd have to wait until the next week, and then you'd have to watch the whole like previously on, and you'd be like, God damn it, what did I miss?
And then you have to wait for the reruns that happen at the end of the season before the last
In the
few.
summer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that are
it's
going to
always in the
have
summer.
gaps or missing episodes or not in the same order.
Yeah. Or if we go back
Back in
to
the day.
my time, when for about a month in advance, they'd be talking about the release of the new Michael Jackson video. And there was one day you could watch it for the first time, and it would have the
Yep.
whole thing with Vincent Price and the wolves and the dances and all that.
Oh
You're
my
not going to
God.
replay the full like 1 hour video launch.
No.
No.
I saw that in the theater though. Did you know
Oh,
they brought it out again just a couple years ago in the theater?
fantastic. Good
Yeah,
on them. Yeah.
I cried. I'm not even gonna lie.
I
Anyway, we're
would have.
digressing,
I'm
but I
about
can't
to
help
cry
it.
now thinking that I didn't realize that they did this.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Denny Leger is saying low tech equals better relationships. Do you think that's the case? Low tech
No.
is
I
better
don't know. My
relationships?
current
No.
relationship is incredibly high tech.
Me too. I have
It's
all of the
USB
streaming.
rechargeable, and that's
Oh, yours is more high tech than mine. Mine
mine
plugs
is
in.
incredibly high tech.
I need to get the USB rechargeable one. That's waterproof. Thank
Well, I
you.
mean, it makes up for my shower curtain non-sustainability. But in all truth, though, now the shower curtain is really just where the bath is, and I have like a stand-up shower. So really, I don't, I
Oh,
don't
you
have
don't
as
have to
many
replace it very
issues.
often.
Right. But prior to this home.
Prior to this. All right. Let's go on. We've got questions coming in. Thank you for
Sure.
asking
Yay.
questions.
Yay, thank
Please
you.
add into the chat any questions that you have, or you can go to the
Oh, my
Slido.
foot's falling asleep.
That's Slido.com. The event code is TLD208, and that allows you to ask questions anonymously.
Guys,
And
my
now-
socks are really cool. Look. They're stripy, and they're pink and orange, and they match everything. Sorry. I
Yes.
digress.
And there's
All
yellow
is
that go
good.
with your earrings.
All is good. Questions are coming in, which is great.
Oh, good.
And how much should you hold back about what annoys you about your partner?
Ooh,
How
that's
much
a
should you
good
hold
one.
back about what annoys you about your partner? Lady Muffin Stuff, you
Oh,
are
of course, I get that question
First.
in the hot seat. How much should you hold back? I don't think you should hold back. I think, though, you should learn how to address the real issue. Be like, hey, I really like it when we're on time. I'm kind of one of those people who's maybe stresses out about this. I noticed that. Can we come up with a happy medium, or can we? I think one issue with a friend, like a real friend for real, they're not just pretend because I'm the jerk. is that this person had a completely different concept of time as I. And so instead of meeting in front of the restaurant where I would stand there for 10 minutes like adult, we changed our meeting area to where I was at a coffee shop sitting right like and not feeling sort of upset about waiting for my friend who's maybe an extra 5 minutes late. But when I'm 10 minutes early, that's 15 minutes of me being waiting. So yeah, I think you should address all of it and pick your battles, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Pick your battles. Very, very good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think it all depends on the level of how much it annoys you. And I guess that comes down to picking your battles. Because if something is annoying you, it's going to build up and eventually
Yep.
it'll blow. All right. And not a good way. There's got to be an argument. You'll be angry. They'll be confused, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So these are these things you can't sort of let these things pass too long if it's something that annoys you, and if it's a deal breaker for a relationship, then maybe that's kind of a danger.
Mm-hmm.
But the longer you accept it without doing anything about it, probably the harder the hurt will be when things do end.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
be the best person and
Mm-hmm.
address it and use communication. Misty.
Yeah, everything you all just said. I think that like if there's something that annoys you, yeah, really take stock in what it is that annoys you. You know, like I have a friend, I mean, even in my past relationships or whatever, but I've had a friend that like I can hear him chew and like we hang out and have dinner all the time. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, I have to make sure that I'm chewing something loud or like we have something on in the background because I can hear him chew and sometimes it's annoying. But I'm also like, whatever, it's a tiny thing. I don't live with this person. So I think it just really depends on what you can live with and what you can't live with, you know? If it's something that's really tiny, like a small thing, like that's easy to change, for instance, like say you move in with your partner and you realize that they never ever put the toilet seat down and you know that's annoying to you because you sit down every time you use the washroom and you fall in when it's nighttime or whatever, or you just don't want to always have to put it down. Like then that's a discussion you can have and it's things that they do rather than things about them. If it's something that's about them, like it's who they are, then you really have to take stock. Is this something that's just going to annoy you forever and it's never going to get better? Or is this like a character trait, like as you said, Lady Muffin Stuff, if it's a character trait that like is, say, bringing something out in you that you don't like in yourself, then okay, maybe that's you have to work on yourself, or maybe it's something that they're doing that is triggering you in some way, then you can talk about it, and maybe that personality trait, you can work it out somehow. But it really then does depend on how big is this problem? How much is it annoying you? And how much is it a deal breaker? Because at the end of the day, like we're all individual people. And if the person it just doesn't click and work with you, then it just doesn't click and work with you. And like that's the worst when you know that you love the person, but like don't try to change anybody, like actually change them. I don't think that's fair. So
Especially if
should you, and I don't know if I addressed the thing, like, should you talk to them about it? I guess I addressed that, but I don't know.
You said that you pick you basically, we all sort of said pick your battles
right.
Okay, good.
and,
Yes,
and,
that's
and
right.
make sure that you address it before it becomes too large an issue.
I've
Sure.
been
I'd like to
alone for a really
elaborate.
long time. I talk to people on my phone. Like I'm like, oh my God, words with humans. What? Anyway, sorry.
Interaction. But just to elaborate on picking your battles, I think it's important to, there are things that people cannot change about themselves.
100%.
And so, for instance, my friend who was, perpetually late, that's
That's
a
me.
question of neurodivergence and just, time flies very differently in that situation. And I was feeling as if this person cared less about me and
Mm,
disrespected my time when I realized really what we needed to find a solution, a, a way to figure it out. There are other things you can't change, like a lisp.
mm,
If a
mm-hmm,
lisp gets on your nerves, that's I don't I don't believe there's any kind of workaround on that.
mm-hmm.
And I did not realize that I was neurodivergent. I thought I was being an asshole anytime I was late.
No, I have really, I think there is like, I think I've discovered that I have some mild ADD, if you can have that, because I'm always late. I don't have an idea for time. Like my relationship with time and the rest of the world seems to not be on the same level. Like people actually have to tell me a half an hour time difference for me to be on time. I mean,
Well,
not for something like this. Like if it's like this is a, or a show or something that has an exact start time, then I can't. But then if it's, oh, we're going to meet for dinner and like the suggested time, because in my head it's a suggested time, and you say 7, I will not be there before 7:15. I absolutely won't. And sometimes 7:30. If it's one-on-one, I'm not as bad, but sometimes things just happen.
Yeah.
So like people literally tell me, oh, we're going to meet at 6:30. I'm like, okay, cool, 6:30. And just if you don't tell me that you're telling me it's a half hour difference, I'll be there for 7. Like,
last episode, I believe we had a question about how to deal with people who are continually late. So
I'm literally the worst, and I know it, and it annoys me too, because like I will be like, okay, I'm gonna leave really early, and then I don't know, something will happen. Sometimes it's in my own head. Like once I was trying to meet my friend and I was having a really bad body day, so nothing I put on was comfortable. I didn't want to leave the house. I fought myself for like 40 minutes, and I was there. I showed up. I mean, they were with another friend, but I still showed up like an hour after I said, because I was fighting with myself. But I had planned on leaving early. So, just things happen. And often I'm that person that leaves, and then the freaking metro decides that it's just going to stop. I'm like,
but
I
I
left
used that
20 minutes
excuse last
early.
time. Why is it real this time?
Right? I
all right.
stopped using excuses. Anyway, sorry. That's what I did.
What we have a number of questions that have come in, so
Okay,
we'll try to get through these.
Okay, rein me in.
All right. My boyfriend is kind, which is great, but people walk all over him, and I hate that.
That sucks.
Misty, you have that
I don't.
first, and you said that sucks.
It does. It really is hard when you see that with friends or partners. You could see people taking advantage of them, but they don't see it. And the worst thing is when you tell them what you're seeing, they don't agree. Like, it happens often. And it's happened with me. I felt that, and it happens often. I mean, there's no real question there. I mean, sure, I would hate it too. And I guess the best thing you can do is try to be supportive to that person and try to help them with boundaries. So clearly, if people are walking over them, that means that they are not that good at telling people their boundaries, I guess, or sort of sticking up for their own boundaries. And maybe that's a good way that you can sort of help them through that. Like say, oh, hey, I noticed this person asked you, but don't you already have this and this to do that day? Are you sure you can fit it in? Or, in a nice way, or, like, is this something you really want to do? Or maybe just have a frank discussion about boundaries. Like, how do you feel when you have 4 things on your plate and this person knows that and asks you to do this? Like this, because a lot of the times I find people don't like to say no, and I really understand that. If someone asks you for your help, it's very hard to say no sometimes. And I guess when you are that type of person, you really do need help with even just learning your own boundaries.
Good answer.
Yeah, absolutely. That is definitely people pleasing issue that I've dealt with and learned how to set boundaries. And we all have our reasons for that. One thing, though, we have to remember that other people's boundaries might be different than ours.
Yes.
So just sort of, out of love and caring for that friend or boyfriend or significant other, just ask it, is this in any way draining you? Are you feeling overwhelmed?
Good one.
Do you understand that maybe, you can say, I can do this, or here's what I can do, instead of, and introduce them to the concept of boundaries. It's hard for me because I kind of like to control myself and others. And sometimes when I see that on others, I want them to set boundaries that maybe they don't feel they need to set. So check yourself as well sometimes.
Good one.
Boom. I feel a little triggered by that last question, actually, just because That has been said to me that people take advantage. I like to work off my word a lot of the time. I will help people when they ask for help and give to them what I can. I'm not a pushover, but at the same time, I have worked with a lot of people who have moved up in the performing arts who haven't reached back down to help me when I had reached down to help them to get to the level I was at. But that's okay. That doesn't say anything about me. That says things about them. And I have learned from that. And I've learned about them on that. That could be your boyfriend's or significant other's take on it. But again, I think the other two both mentioned introducing boundaries, and that is a good plan. All right. We're ready for the next question.
New question.
Sure. I think my friends have sent in questions. Sorry. It's exciting.
All right. That is good. All right. All right. Here's this question. My platonic same-sex roommate has a good job with benefits and has noticed I'm struggling, so they suggested getting married so I can be on their benefits package. What are the cons to this? Is it illegal? I'm the love doctor, not the law doctor. I'm in the hot seat for this one. What makes the difference between platonic friends or a couple with a dead bedroom or an asexual couple who are married? Like, I don't think the government belongs in the bedroom at all, unless there's abuse happening. But I do not know, and I would suggest asking Google or a lawyer if you've got deeper pockets. Misty.
I have no idea. Is it illegal? No idea. I mean, also, if you're living together for the long enough time and you have both your names on all the bills and the leases and whatever, I mean, technically, then you are sort of a partnership, aren't you? And in that case, maybe you can be put on their insurance. But really, I have no idea. I can't say should you do it or should you not do it. I don't know.
So we should have a universal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, essentially, I'm a big fan of basic income, universal income. That's one of those things that shouldn't happen. Struggling to make ends meet that way. I think the consensus is we don't know. Probably there's an interpretation. The fact that you have the same address, and if you legally fill out the documents and file the paperwork and file your taxes as wedded spouses, then you're taking on the pros and cons of that. But that might be a great question for Google, and see what happens. I hope that you get everything that you need to take care of yourself. You deserve that, regardless of whether you end up marrying someone.
And just asking, what do the people out there think? The people watching, what do you think about that question? Because again, it could come, to a basic income. Ireland is switching to a basic income for artists. So there will be a standard income for artists, which if they're making less than a certain amount, they will be brought up to. So Tommy Tiernan and U2 won't collect it, but other people shall.
Yeah.
So there we go. We are now on for the next question. And what's the hardest part of forming a relationship?
Oh, God.
The penis.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was... I shouldn't have said it that way. I shouldn't have said it that way. Lady Muffin Stuff.
I mean, if a penis is included in the equation, I think the hardest part of forming an equation, probably learning, like your boundaries with one another. What one person wants, how to talk to each other. We all have our past, and one thing that one person might say to me could be very triggering, that they would never consider that to be offensive. So probably getting to know each other, figuring out what buttons to push or not to push.
Hmm.
Good answer.
Oh, sorry.
And oh no, that was me. I think I just said something wrong.
You sound like
There.
that
All
was
right.
fun. You echoed.
All right. Oh, we did get a comment on this here. Part of government benefits for couples is to help raise children. So if you don't intend to have a family, it's partly dishonest to claim these benefits for themselves.
Mm.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who are married that are not going to have children, and there's people who can't. Does that mean that they don't get benefits either? That sounds unfair. But I guess it's my turn with the current question we're on. What's the hardest part of forming a relationship? Is thinking of someone other than yourself.
Mm.
You need to be able to be putting that person first, and they better be putting you first as well. And that's the important part about a relationship, is the fact that you are caring for each other and taking care of each other. But that's my point of view. Misty.
So I guess it depends on how you mean this question. Because like the hardest part of starting a relationship, I find, is getting to know each other. And not, I find it like some people definitely you can jump in too fast or you're too slow. Like it depends on like, how people are feeling, whatever. And I mean, now during COVID times, it's especially hard because it's not like we can just go outside and have a good time. Like it's freaking winter and it's cold as hell. So it's like, you're kind of like, want to meet online? This is really fun. Want to come over? I'm afraid of you. You stay in that corner and I'll be over here. Like, so yeah, getting to know each other, I think, is an obstacle at this point. The beginning of a relationship is fun though, because you do get to explore different parts of yourself and you get to tell all the stories that all your friends are tired of that they've all heard. And you're like, this made me, let me tell you, because you don't know it, so that's kind of fun. But definitely, I think something that you said, Lady Muffin Stuff, definitely resonated really well with me. It's
Penis?
definitely, well, I do like
Sometimes
that.
it makes me resonate too.
It's no, it's the triggers, it's the things that, so I know like my ex sometimes used to make me feel objectified. So I like have been talking with new people and whatever, and they sometimes their humor, like, because they actually asked me first, they're like, hey, my humor is kind of dirty. How do you feel about that? And I really don't mind it, but since I don't know them that well, I was like, that depends on how you say it and when you say it, like I really don't mind dirty jokes. Like I'm in the kitchen and it's hot and then somebody says something like, oh, is your oven full or whatever? Like, I don't know. That's not a funny joke, but just pretend.
Right.
And like, so I get that. I think that can be funny, but it also, if that's all I'm hearing from the person, then that really does stir up, that feeling of being objectified and that I had to work through and that I lived with for a little bit with an ex-partner, and like so I think that can be pretty hard too. And I think that the big thing is knowing yourself. Like I know that these are triggers and I'm very open and honest, as we can all tell. So I will tell you that this is a trigger of mine. Hey, you made this didn't make me feel good. This is why. How about we work through this and we figure that out so that we can all have a good time. So I guess the big thing is knowing yourself and honesty and trying to get to know each other in this age of wilderness. I don't know what I just said there. Go ahead.
The age of wilderness. All right. Welcome to the Wilder people. No, this is the Love Doctor live stream. If you have questions, you can drop them in the chat, or you can go to the Slido. It's writing it down on the bottom. And we are. I do want to mention that this show is supported by your donation. So
Yes. And Tangray, not really. It's not supported by Tangray.
no, or the wonderful Montreal 1769 distillery, who still has not sponsored me, even though I mentioned their Madison Park gin that includes Earl Grey tea. It's so delicious. I'm drinking it straight tonight.
Oh.
That is so anything that you donate to the thing, the link tree there, the top one, that's my manager, is linktr.ee/Paul Ash, my manager. The top part says buy me a drink, and any money that's donated that way will go to all the 3 performers that you see on this panel here tonight. And we have more questions, lots more questions to get to. So you can ask your questions on the Slido or in the chat, and we are going to start bringing more of them up right now. With the next question is, what's your view on temporary body modification for sexual gratification, i.e. saline inflation or a labial or testes of labia or testes for sensation?
Oh,
I think that would probably also the pump type 2. And that goes to Misty Portugal.
Hi. Okay. I've never really thought of doing anything like that, but I mean, if it's not going to hurt yourself and you're doing it for yourself, or you're comfortable with doing that, say for your partner or whatever, then I don't have a problem with it at all. I mean, it's a temporary, if it's something like saline is not going to hurt you. If it's something that's not going to harm you or that you're comfortable with, I mean, it's your body, and if it makes you feel pleasure even more, then I don't see a problem with it.
Boom. Nicely answered.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. But I'm thinking, it's probably less chemical with the saline than those gels or creams that, floof things up and make things tingle. And I know, certain piercings and the tongue and other areas are for that, and those are not temporary. So I say go for it, but I think that's going to be something I'm going to be Googling later on to learn more about it.
I as long as it's safe, I'm not aware of the validity of its safety. So always research any new kink that you're going to explore, just to find out the medical safety, proper medical safety of that. But yeah, I know there's also the pumping, like a turkey baster bulb on the nipples, etc. Also can do a little bit of pumping, and that gives a temporary inflation. May have shared a little too much.
That's
so vanilla.
Mechanical, right? That's we've seen that. There's like clips and things, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, let's move on.
Okay.
All right. Next question we have is, waterproof is where it's at, bath time is me. I imagine that means me time. This, I believe, I think this is in response to Lady Muffin Stuff's waterproof USB chargeable item.
Yes.
Items.
Items.
Yeah,
so
I'm
yes,
in a
waterproof.
polyamorous relationship with several devices.
I only have one that's, I think, is waterproof. I wasn't really sure, so I didn't really put it in the bath all that far the other day, but I did try it out, and it was great.
Yeah.
I've actually had it for a really long time. I'm actually really upset with myself that I never really tried it in the bath, but I guess I relax more in the bath than I do anything sexy, and or often I'm on my phone. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, I'd like to get a better one.
Yeah, I don't use it in the bath, but it is waterproof apparently, and so good.
Is it a
That's an extra
Hitachi?
feature.
Tell me
that
it's a
like
Hitachi. Because the Hitachi is the best one. I want a waterproof Hitachi. Yes.
Okay.
The magic wand.
You should have one. Yeah, there you go. I mean, whatever floats your boat. See what I did there?
They did. That was great.
The little man in the boat is loving it. The idea that I think is really, maybe in the porn version they have it, but you never saw the Hitachi magic wand at Hogwarts. Just it's a magic wand.
Oh, I got you.
All right. I have to do
Right.
at least one dad joke an episode.
Right. Well done.
There we are. I really, really love to get, when I get to pleasure my partners, I get more pleasure by doing it than
Ooh.
received it. Is it normal?
Mhm.
And Lady Muffin Stuff, you are in the hot seat.
Yes, it is normal. It's commendable. And follow question: are you currently in a relationship?
I was gonna ask that. Clearly, we're
Just,
single.
just DM me. You know what? It's a great character, but keep in mind that generally a good sexual partner will enjoy giving pleasure to the others. So allow
Mhm.
them. You can give them pleasure by receiving pleasure as well. Don't be too greedy in the giving. But yeah, no, everything is normal. It's all good.
And
Mhm.
just for those who want to DM, it's at lady_muffin_stuff on Instagram. Just
Slide into her DMs.
there it is. The invite was thrown out, so I wanted to make
Ooh.
sure it was said. You know what? I'm going to take a different take
Oh, okay.
than Lady Muffin Stuff. I'm saying it's not normal, but it is commendable.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right? And the thing is, people being hung up on what's normal is a problem. So
Oh, yeah.
we should normalize the idea that giving pleasure is as great as receiving it.
Mhm.
But a good relationship should be balanced in some way.
Yep.
There's sex is something amazing that people can share, and if you're sharing it with people, there is a certain pleasure in achieving that pleasure for your partner, but at the same time, they'll probably want to see that for you as well.
Mhm.
So give them a chance, or else they might just think that it's not worth trying to give you pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I
Misty.
mean, sometimes I guess it's hard for people to accept the pleasure, you know? Like, I really did have an ex a long time ago, but oh my God, his favorite thing was to give me head, which is like, okay, sure, that's great, but also it wasn't really my favorite thing to receive. I don't know why. I worked that out a little bit, but at the time, it really wasn't my favorite thing to receive. And so I had to kind of fake really being into it because I mean, I was young and we were both young, so maybe this is sort of not so much consent because if I was like, stop, he would stop. It wasn't that, but it was kind of that thing, where you're like, no, it's not going to happen. And then that just made him want to try harder. I'm like, I don't really know what that is. Is that because they do really get off on the pleasure, or is that a thing that they need to make sure that you come because that's like they always used to before? Like, do you know what I mean? But as for the word normal, yeah, I didn't think of it until you just said it there, Love Doctor. Like, um, is it normal? I mean, what's normal, right? Like, I guess that I've been with a lot of partners that really it was more just so it wasn't about necessarily just pleasuring me. It was just so that we could both get off. Like, I mean, I've had a number of one night stands. So, like, that's all we both wanted to do. So it wasn't so much that we were doing this to make sure that the other person got off. It's like, oh, please let me do this first so that you can. You know what I mean? Like, sort of that give and take, like, we're going to talk about this and this is what's going to happen kind of thing. Uh, so, yeah,
There
is it
is
normal? I don't know, but it's good and keep doing it. And yes, I want my partner to be pleasured 100%. And like at any point in the lovemaking process, like just because one person finishes doesn't mean that the whole thing is done, you know? It's my 2 cents.
Boom. I do. There was some stuff that you brought up there that I do want to expand upon. There is I don't know if it's like, I don't want to blame video game culture, but the idea of ranking a success by making sure your partner has an orgasm.
Oh yeah.
Right. And especially like there's been times I've been told, oh well, I have difficulty having an orgasm, and some people
Hmm.
will just go too hard if when I tell them that. That's not uncommon. And I think it's somebody wants to prove that they're special or that they're better. and it's a competition with the past or the timing or whatever it is that's holding you back. I don't holding you back. I don't want to say holding you back from an orgasm, but that's I think that's one of the things to take in mind. Also, I also want to take the point of saying never fake an orgasm unless you plan on never sleeping with that person again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't fake the orgasm. I just faked the enjoyment of it. But I didn't fake an orgasm. But you're right, never fake it. Please don't ever do that. It's the worst.
Because that's rewarding them for bad behavior.
You're not doing anyone any favors.
No, and then they think that how they're touching you is good and it's not what's getting you off. And then hello, communication, you have to talk about that.
Boom. Honesty and communication, always key things to a great relationship. How do you manage with a partner who has a much higher libido than you? Misty, you are in the hot seat.
Of course I'm in the hot seat. Way to put me in the hot seat. Okay, how do you manage with that? That's a really good question because I was in a relationship where it got to be the point where my libido got smaller and the other person's was very, very high. So how to manage with that? I think it's just being open and communication and finding out if what's going on. Is it just literally just the libido? Like this person only likes to have sex once a week and this person likes to have sex every day. Like, I don't know. Talk about that. And then because the whole thing is partners need to be fulfilled. So if your partner's not fulfilled because your libido is smaller, doesn't mean you need to put out more. No. It means you have to discuss sort of a way of how you can work on that. Is it something where it could be something where like intercourse maybe isn't the thing, maybe you can just play with each other, or maybe it's opening your relationship up so that person has an outlet, or maybe it's another outlet. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't really have an answer.
I don't have an answer either, but I think we've always hit on the communication and if this person has a libido that has consistently been higher than their partner, what has worked for them in the past? I know mine has varied over the years depending on a bunch of different things, stress in my life, medications and whatnot. As long as you are not pressuring one partner or another into consenting, because that's not consent. Communication. Figure it out. You can.
Boom. And as Lady Muffin Stuff mentioned, libidos can wax and wane. So there's times that other people's libido could be higher or lower. It comes down to discussion, understanding, and compassion. So be honest and look at the solutions to it. Misty mentioned some great ones. So I think that is a good way to answer that.
Discussion, understanding, compassion. Duck. Just always think of duck. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
All right. Could you just say those three words again?
Discussion, understanding, and compassion. Duck. D-U-C. Duck. Because I see your
if there
duck.
was a K in there, then we could explain why my autocorrect is always putting it in. There is just a thought about the question of marrying your roommate. Getting married can potentially create a power imbalance where one didn't exist, because now the roommate can always threaten to divorce to remove the benefits. So it's just something to consider. I hadn't thought of that, but I assumed if people were friends that they, and roommates. I what my immediate thought was like Jay and Silent Bob from the Clerk films. Just they're hetero life mates. But I don't think either one of them has a job that has benefits, so it's
no. They do not.
do not. So I don't think it's a problem for them to mention that. Any further discussion on that one, since that was about the previous question?
No, but that's a good point. I never would have thought of that, but it's so true. Power imbalances in friendships and roommateships are a thing.
All right. And I also, I see that we have a good number of people watching. Say hello. Tell us where you're watching from.
Hi.
Just pop into the chat. And give a thumbs up. We're just a small channel and we're trying to grow it. So if you've not subscribed, subscribe.
Thumbs up.
And
Follow.
if you can't donate over on
Subscribe. Donate.
the link tree, please donate. But I know
That'd be
that
great.
time is tough for everybody. If you
Yes.
can't donate, just hitting the like does make a huge difference. And
time is
next-
tough for everybody. We're not going to be mad if you don't. But I'd appreciate it if you did.
really appreciate it. The bill for StreamYard is coming up soon. So, what would be the best way to bring another partner in the bedroom with my long-term husband? Did you have a short-term husband? It's a just a question.
On
We're being
roller
spam
skate.
botted here again. Just gonna
No
try to
problem.
take care of that. There we go.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, there. So why I don't know. I guess because they find out that we're sexy, that they keep on doing these spam bots on us.
I mean, look at the three of us. Come on now.
Exactly. Delicious.
Delicious.
And for
Well,
those
so
listening
it's
to the
real.
audio version of this, we're here every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So the question is, what would be the best way to bring another partner into the bedroom with my long-term husband? Ask. First
Yes.
off, have the discussion. Have the discussion about fantasies. And if you can agree on the fantasy, be it a male, female, or male, two men and a woman, or it could be all people of the same gender, approach them with that idea, and then with the idea of the fantasy, and then maybe play with it, and then see if they'd be interested in trying it in real life. And then ask them if they have any objections, why. And you may need to ease fears. So that's something to look forward to. But it does come with communication. Why should I say come there? I shouldn't have said come there. Did I say come there? It should have come.
You did. It does come with communication. That's what, and I guess it could really. I mean, anyway, I was just gonna say that communicate. Bring it up. Say, hey, this is a thing I'd like to try. Are you interested in that? If not, then it's a further discussion. And if yes, then it's still a further discussion. And you have to figure out how it's all going to work. So it's literally all in communication.
Yeah.
And honesty, honest communication.
Boom. Lady Muffin Stuff. And if you have any questions, we are getting low on questions at this point in time.
Oh,
so
no,
if you have any
ask
questions,
more.
please drop them in. Lady Muffin
So,
Stuff.
yeah, so a moment ago, I thought the best way to bring someone into the bedroom would be on roller skates. Because that's creative, and be like, hey,
I have roller skates. I
let's
volunteer as
stop
tribute.
out. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
but-
thinking of variations.
But the true answer, obviously, is, communicate, because you don't want to just like, surprise, here's, Rocco the roller skater person. No, you don't do that. Unless your partner really likes surprises.
Rocco the
And
roller
that,
skater person.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be a name. It could be a
I
thing.
know, of course it is. I just love it.
Could be. Maybe a new burlesque performer. Rocco the roller skater
The
person.
roller skater person. That will not be me anytime soon. I suck on the roller skate. But anyway.
No.
Oh no, I do. I could do this. Like, it's really bad. But I still love them. For leopard print.
With the roller skate, I had so many different. Like my first thought was after you mentioned the roller skates, I went or strapped to a gurney, and then I had an image
What kind
of,
of what are you into?
of Hannibal Lecter on that wheel truck that they hauled him around on. Just
Oh my god. With a
Yeah,
ball
just-
gag in a sexy way, and everybody's
Oh,
consented to it beforehand. Yes, that could
yeah.
be fun.
True that, true that.
All right, we're ready for the next question.
Thank God.
Gin is making me loopy, apparently.
Gin is so good. You should
I
try
know.
local. Go for the
I
Madison
know.
Park.
Listen, this is what I saw when I went. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. All right. Oh, All right.
How do you
How do you
detach?
detach from someone you've broken up with but you still love?
Oh God, please, am I in the hot seat?
Lady Muffin Stuff, you are in the hot seat.
Oh,
Oh, that's
that.
a good question.
Okay. Well, I'm a big fan of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand that detaching, or basically when you break up with someone, is a grieving process, and you gotta let yourself go through the things. And it's not a linear situation. You're gonna have your ups and downs. Chocolate is always good in my experience. Um, talk to friends, talk to therapists, and figure, if sometimes breakups can be really hard because it's like a trigger, or it triggers some past trauma that you might need to address.
Mm,
But either way, it's always tough, whether it was a great relationship or one that needed to end.
mm,
You're going to grieve that, and be kind to yourself.
Boom.
mm.
Be kind to yourself. That's great advice. It
Yeah,
is
100%.
incredibly difficult. It is a grieving process. Lady Muffin Stuff
Yeah.
was absolutely correct. It is something I struggle with. When you care for somebody and you invested time and emotions with them, to have that suddenly gone is difficult. And if you have to detach, then you have to detach. Sometimes you need to cut the person off completely. That you need to block them on social media, etc., just so you have the time to heal, because there's a
Mm-hmm.
chance you can be constantly picking off that scab if you're seeing their interactions, and it's worse if you get to see them dating somebody else,
Oh.
right? And it also really depends on how the relationship ends too. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's difficult.
What a really good picking off that scab, like, oh, like the whole scab idea, like just because it's painful and gross at the same time. And like, that is what a breakup is, right? It's painful and it's gross. Even if it's like worth it. And sometimes it's, very amicable. Like, I was dating someone over the summer and we had to break up because I needed to be their primary partner and they weren't ready for that. And that's fine. Like, that's literally, I realized that's what I needed and I had to do it. But like, how do you get over it? It's just, you just, as they both said, you just take your time. You if you can get therapy, that's great. If you're not comfortable with that, a big thing that helped me was journaling. Um, like literally just writing out your feelings at the beginning or whatever part of the day that you want. Just take an hour, half an hour, however, 5 minutes, and just write in a journal about how you feel. Writing it down, just because you have to think about what you want to say, and then that helps you really think through the feelings that you're having. Another thing that really helped me was a gratitude journal. So even when I found that it was stupid, and like I would get up, like I had a gratitude journal and I was in such a low place, and I literally would write down like 3 things I'm grateful for in the day. And for a few weeks, those 3 things, and I did it every day for a while, and those 3 things were literally like my cats, that I have a roof over my head, and then I have food to eat. These are all great things to be grateful for. And while it doesn't seem like that's going to help you get over the pain and the grieving process that you're going through of this lost relationship, it really will. So, yeah, inner work, a journal, and a gratitude journal. 2 different ones if you can.
DIY Muggle guy saying, "Hey, hi there, you fantastical
Hi.
humans."
I
Bye.
thought that said fartastical. I read fart. I don't know why. I was like, oh, okay, hi. If I could
You
fart on
know
command, I
me. You
would.
really know me.
If I could fart on command, I could be rich right now.
I do, since we mentioned about grieving a relationship. The Expanse, which is a TV series I would recommend to anyone who likes a little bit of sci-fi. Just
Okay, I started watching it years ago and I couldn't get into it. And now it's blowing up on my social media with all my friends. So like I think I need to rewatch it.
I do believe you need to rewatch it. It sort of got misnamed as like the Game of Thrones in space. It is a very detailed story with many characters, yes, but
Would you
it
say it's as
is
good as Battlestar Galactica?
better. I'd say it's better.
Oh, them some
Oh,
fighting
damn fight.
words.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it now, and I'm gonna get back to you, the Love Doctor. Okay.
All right, I'm saying that, but I'm definitely saying that. And we also have another comment going, yeah, The Expanse, great show. There was a quote though about grief. That's why I was mentioning it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically people will tell you that time makes grief less, and that's a lie.
Yeah, you know how to deal with it.
You're just better at dealing with it, and it still hurts just as fiercely. So
And it can. I mean, I find that. Sorry to butt in. Do you want to finish
no.
what you were saying? I'm sorry.
It's just that is one thing to be aware of, because their grief is, as you age, you are going to have many reasons to grieve, and they are going to all exist. And the best thing to do is to just hold on to the good memories as much as possible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I find that with relationships, the grief that you have with the relationship, I mean, I guess it really depends on the relationship itself. I find that it's something I can let go of easier than if it's, say, a grief of a death or something like that. But like technically the end of a relationship is the death of the relationship, right? And that can be said for friendships as well as it can be said for sexual relationships, you know? And so it's really an individual thing that's going to tell you how hard it is for you to get over. Like have a good few sexual relationships that for me I'm over it. Like I can say that, like the words over it. Like I don't grieve that relationship at all. These people, sometimes they're friends, sometimes they're not, but I'm past it. You know, it's not something that's just stuck with me. And then other times there are some that have stuck with me that I still think of, that sometimes if I'm in a low point, I still kind of like wonder what it is I did wrong, or what it is they did wrong, or I just play with it. How is this affecting me right now? So yeah, it is a very important thing to realize that it is a grieving process, and that it's not just going to go away right away because you journal.
Most of my major exes I've remained friends with. Not all. And
I didn't.
Mainly a little bit sorry on that, but we got a
Sorry.
cat.
I do. That's why I was leaning in, because he needed some pets. But sorry that you weren't friends with them all, or sorry that
sorry that I've not been able to salvage the friendship out of all of them.
Yeah, I have.
Because I mean, obviously,
my last one was the worst.
Well, I thought all these people were pretty great when I was dating them. So sometimes it's taken time to be able to be friends with them, but that's another thing.
Hi, buddy.
We've got another question here. We should bring that in. Oh, did we just win the internet?
We did.
We just won the internet.
He's like, hello, I'm not going to look in the camera. I'm not looking in the... Oh, there I go. I'm looking in the camera. Look at me. I'm so handsome. What's the next question, the Love Doctor?
What's his name? That's the question first.
Tigru. It's actually Tigre le 21, Tour des Insectes, Cuddler Extraordinaire. That's his full name, but I call him Tigru for short.
Tigru it is then.
Thank you for that.
Tigru. All right. The next question we have is, all right, Meatloaf, rest in peace, would do anything for love, but he wouldn't do that. What is your that?
Oh my God, I'm so
that.
vanilla.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
Oh dear God.
I immediately I thought they were going to ask what is that, and
who's in the hot seat?
Misty's in the hot seat.
So God, no! I'm mixing my drink first. Listen, I'm so vanilla. I guess, but really, I think that okay. So I've tried a bunch of things. That's how I know I'm vanilla, and I really have to have trust for some things. But I guess my that would be anything that has to do with pee or poop. That is real, or blood. These kind of kinks and playful things that people love, kudos. You do you, but don't do it with me. That is not my thing. That's my that.
Boom. Lady
Boom.
Muffin Stuff.
I don't like getting anything like covering my mouth. So all those
That
things with
too.
the gags and what have you would not work for me. I need to breathe. I need to be able to say my safety word. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
the mouth thing.
Yeah.
exactly.
I throw up
It,
when things are in my mouth. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
like if I hold keys in my mouth, like say or you put something in your mouth and you're like doing something, I will like gag. So I
Mm.
had like gag in my mouth once just for fun, and I was just like, "Ugh, I'm gonna die." So anyway, sorry, go on.
all right. No, it's what was I gonna say? Oh, well. Oh, yes. If, I did want to mention that if you were going to the gagging kind of confused
He's
me.
like, tell me more
Sorry.
about the gagging. What does it
Uh,
sound like?
So
the,
bad.
the idea, if anyone is doing anything that gags a person or prevents them from speaking, you should have a safe word that
Or
is
speak
a visual sign
function. Yeah.
that can be done. Some people use glow sticks, so they snap the glow stick so you can see it.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
So there's many
Come on,
different things,
baby.
or a
Come on.
special tap or whatever. But that would be one of the ways. Now, I've all right. Let's after this. Let's ask what do we think that Meatloaf wouldn't do. Uh,
Okay.
all right. I because that was immediately what I thought when I had the question.
Ugh.
What? All right. Yeah. No poop and blood. Not no.
And
No
pee?
toilet play, no blood play, nothing that is a permanent harm. I'm not
Oh.
cool with that. I dated somebody who was a full masochist, and it made me uncomfortable. It really put my head through a ringer that I cared for this person, and they wanted me to hurt them,
Mm.
and to be able to hurt them in that level, like I mean, I do things that some people find uncomfortable, such as like I spank really hard, apparently. But
I don't believe you.
Yeah. So we're all gonna get together and you're gonna show us.
all right. So these are the things. Just pay attention to the size of the hand. Uh,
Have you seen the
That
size of
means
my
nothing
ass,
to me.
though?
I don't know. My hand looks really big right now too.
all right.
All right. And on
So
that, oh, it looks like
But I
we're
mean,
the
you know,
hour's up. The hour's
yeah,
up.
we
but I
we
mean,
are
like,
the
I guess it's that kind of thing, like if they're really into it, like yeah, then it just depends, like, is that something that you can do, you know? Like they're really into it. You're not doing anything wrong if it's something that they really want you to do.
True, true.
But it
I'm
is if
not
you're not
into,
comfortable
yeah.
with it, then it's wrong because you're
Right,
not comfortable. Like everyone has to be comfortable.
right. Well, there's a difference, like, spanking,
Hmm.
yay, but humiliation, nay. I've learned that that's a thing, that's a kink, and I was like, yeah, that would not work for me.
for
And
you.
giving or
Yeah.
receiving, it turns me off. So no.
Hmm.
I agree. As much as I like to spank, it's more of a I like to do a praise kink sort of thing.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. We have we had an addendum onto this question, or somebody in the audience has answered it as well about what is it that Meatloaf wouldn't do. I thought I was being harsh, but somebody said he would do anything for love except get
Oh
vaccinated. Apparently,
no.
Oh my God, what? Is that how he died from not being
uh,
vaccinated?
No, really?
according to the Daily News, he had COVID. National Post says ill with COVID. Rock star Meatloaf dies,
Oh,
age 74.
too soon, human, too soon. He would do anything
Hmm.
for love except get vaccinated. Oh my
That
God,
is that's
Nova, what do
harsh.
you think of that? That is sad.
That is particularly sad if that's the case. If he was choosing, or if he was unvaccinated due to
I
misinformation
know.
or hesitancy based on all of the things that we know. Because I have great respect for his work over the years,
Me too. All
and
the stuff.
regardless of anything else, any other political ideology, it is always sad when someone loses their life unnecessarily.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, all right. Just to be clear, his cause of death has yet to be released to the public.
Okay.
But he was outspoken about being an anti-vax person and had been quoted as saying, "If I die, I die."
Okay.
Oh. I mean,
Well-
okay, well, fair enough then. Good for you.
I always thought when that song came out, my main thought is what he wouldn't
Poop.
do.
I always thought poop.
Really, I thought it was "Shut Up."
Oh, well, he's not going to wrap the song up in less than 8 minutes. That's definitely something he's not going to do.
That's true, though.
No.
That's true.
Uh,
I don't know why I always thought it was poop.
all right, the Love Doctor will be coerced into doing a live demonstration when vaudeville starts again. I am fully behind that. Or
Oh, the spanking
Pun
demonstration?
pod included, the spanking demonstration, I believe.
Oh, that means that you have to have the two of us there at least just for the spanking portion. So we can tell you if it's too hard or not. And you have to know how to spank. Because my friend is a professional dominatrix. And before we've watched people being spanked at the Wiggle Room and we're like, ooh dear, some people need to have some sort of training. Because there's a lot of you have to spank. It's better to spank up than spanking down.
Yes.
Because if you spank down, it's very easy to hit organs when you don't mean to because your bum is so close to different things.
The kidneys.
So I only know this because of my friend. I'm just repeating what they said.
Yeah, my aim is good though, but
Awesome. And my bum jiggles, so you have to have us both here.
oh,
So-
all right.
I have not agreed. I've not consented to this public spanking.
Sorry.
FYI.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Lady
we'll
Muffin
discuss
Oh,
Stuff.
it.
I
That's
thought you
my
were
bad.
egging me on here.
No,
I
I am
was, I
egging you
just-
on. Have me there. You can watch. I'll tell you if it's too hard or
Oh,
not.
yeah.
I don't know
Oh.
your threshold, but I'll tell you what I think.
All right, we have the link tree for donating is running along the bottom here right now, and I do want to take a moment to thank my very special guests. There's Lady_Muffin_Stuff on Instagram. Lady Muffin Stuff has been here, fantastic. So glad that you joined us, and also at Misty Portugal, all one word on Instagram, just Misty and Portugal the way they're normally spelled, and. It was an
Oops.
absolute pleasure to have the two of you here tonight.
Yeah, it
Did
was
you have
really
a good
fun.
night?
100%. Why is it over?
Absolutely. Well, when I learned that it was you, Misty, I was like, Misty's one of my favorite green room partners of all time. We've had so much fun. So I was like, yes, me and Misty at the Love Doctor, I'm
Me
in.
too.
I'm in for sure.
Boom. And Cherry Top is going to be on next week. And I'm
Yay.
still confirming the second for that one. So tune in next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's done because we are out of questions. We've passed an hour. What is it? 75 minutes at this point. So that's a good length for an episode. I do want to thank everyone for coming out. Is this a question in the comments that just showed up? There it is. Oh, thanks for the shoe. All right.
You're welcome, Denis Leger.
A little bit of Ed Sullivan in Denis Leger.
Denis à la
Leger.
prochaine.
Sorry, I said that wrong.
Leger. I'm not sure. My French is far from perfect.
Denis Leger. But, maybe they pronounce it differently.
Yes.
True. Great show.
Maybe it's Dennis Leger.
And DIY Muggle guys saying great show. Hope to see you all live soon.
Yes.
We're hoping, but I want it to be safe. So
Mm-hmm.
let's keep on getting everything safe.
What's the definition
oh.
of the word soon?
Yeah. No, it's
Leger.
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 Yeah. Thank
Right.
you.
And Misty did get it right.
There you go. Good job.
Look
See,
at me.
you've been here longer.
Duolingo.
Duolingo. Oh, yeah. All right. Can I just?
Oh dear. I have a
Yes?
feeling we're in for something now.
I am. All right. Duolingo. I've been trying to learn French. I've been trying to learn French for a very long time. And I'm
Yes.
going through the Duolingo lessons.
It's so bad.
Is it different than Dua Lipa? Because that's not the same thing, right?
No,
No.
no,
Okay,
it's
go
not.
on.
All right, DIY Muggle guy is saying soonish. All right, for the reopening.
Duolingo lessons, yes.
All right, je t'aime and
Je t'aime.
aimer is to like. So, but je t'aime is I love you.
Yeah.
Right? Even though j'adore is there or je t'adore would be there.
Yeah.
Without, to me, that's I love you.
Yeah.
But I got blindsided in a lesson and I'm keeping up a good perfect score with je t'aime bien, which is I like you.
Yeah.
What?
Bien. What? Je
Yeah,
t'aime bien is just I like you. It's not I like you a
It's-
lot.
It's sort
No.
of I love you light. Like it's like I diet love you.
Bien
And
though
we-
is a
we-
lot,
exactly.
isn't it?
Je
This-
t'aime bien means I like you, meaning I love you, but like the skinny version of love you, which is like you.
Apologies
makes no
to all
sense
the
to
all the
me.
francophiles that are out there right now, but the idea of that is the greatest trolling in any language. I mean, right up there with the fact that they cause you to do math while you're counting. All right, because and I have another question about that one, but you've got the it's like, you know, you're with your friend who's crushing on you, and you go je t'aime bien. Just like they hear I love you and then you bien, so you just drop it down a notch.
Yeah.
But it
I
seems like
love
such
you,
a
but I
cruel
don't.
way. Yeah, it's so
I,
cruel.
I like you.
And
Yeah,
there's-
that is-
here, all
It's
right.
like
Does
saying
anyone
I
else?
love you like a brother.
Je t'aime bien means like I love you
No.
like a friend.
Je t'aime bien means I like you. It means I like you like kindly.
A
Like I
friend.
like you non-romantically. Je t'aime
Oh my
bien.
god. Yeah, I
Like, you know,
I
I
love you
like
like
you.
a friend.
Right.
I know. Is that not? And this is the other thing that recently has also chased me off. Is the fact is you're counting. You have to do the math. There's you know, you've got 60, then you got 70.
Yeah. Ouais.
70 et 1, and then you have 80.
71 actually, but yeah.
71, but yes,
Yeah.
sorry. But then you got 80, 10, and it's 91. There's no A in there.
Yeah.
And 80 has an S at
It's
the end.
420.
20s.
420s plus 11 is 91.
I
mean,
understand that they're doing the math, but why if you just say 420s, like why do you have to put the S on the end there when you're not putting the S on it when you're doing like a 70?
Because I said so. That's why.
All right.
I have no
Oh.
logical explanation.
Well, we
I'm
digress.
sorry. I have no. It's indefensible. But that's
All right,
the way it is.
we're losing people as we're talking about the French language instead of love. Oh, hey, try learning to count in Russian. You. All right. So obviously, Denis Leger. Sorry, how's it pronounced, Misty?
What?
Léger.
Denis Leger. How's it pronounced? Leger. Denis Leger is obviously a polyglot as he speaks Russian, French, and English.
Wow.
At least. So that has been our wonderful show. Thank you. Please
That was
donate if
awesome.
you can.
Please
Give
donate.
a like if you can't. Share it and make sure you're subscribed. When we reach 100 viewers, we're going to have a giveaway. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to seeing people when we are live at the Wiggle Room again. But for now, we're stuck in this virtual world. Love you all. See you next week.